What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast episode. I was making sure I wasn't on mute this time. Episode 90.
Lesson
I'm your,
learned.
I know, right? Can't tell you how many times I'm on mute, but I was just talking to you guys. I can't be on mute. Uh, I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by Bryant with his pretty cool Advance Wars shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, so quick update on my uh Stellar Blade Platinum
Hmm.
run. So I beat it like a few days ago, and then I had to go through the game one more time to get the last ending. There's 3 endings. I got the first 2 endings in my first run.
Yeah.
You do some tricky PSN save stuff.
Hmm.
And so for the third ending, I go through the entire game yesterday night. Because it's actually pretty short if you just mainline it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're overpowered. It's pretty short actually. So I go through the whole thing and I get to the end, and part of and the ending that you need to get is based on a choice you make. And I talked to my friend, and I thought he told me to say no to the choice, but actually you're supposed to say yes. And so I did it, and the game auto saved. So I have to do the whole thing all over again to get the
Oh,
last
God.
ending and get the
Man,
platinum. It's
that
the worst.
sucks.
But the good news is like I'm like more than halfway done now. Like I said, I already started my new run, so I might even get it done tonight or early tomorrow, and then I'll get that platinum, and then I can finally move on to like Paper Mario or something like that. But yeah, just a little tale of woe to begin this podcast today.
Nice. That's why I'm not a trophy hunter. I'm like, whatever. I'll get to where I get in a game and call it a day.
For
Yeah.
Stellar Blade, I'm definitely a platinum hunter because I just love the game so much.
And we're also joined by Phaneckswhy.
What's up?
That's an awesome blanket. That's Tetris, right?
Yeah, it's Tetris.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. I want that.
And
It was
Fan also-
actually in one of my boxes for Loot Crate, so it's just
That's
I haven't
awesome.
had
And then
one.
you have an awesome Pikmin shirt.
no,
No.
that's
Oh,
Zelda.
And that's Zelda. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
little Koroks.
Koroks, yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, he's got that Uniqlo shirt. Did you get pick up the Uniqlo shirts too for Zelda?
No, I didn't get any of the Zelda ones. Nope. They had a bunch of Metal Gear ones on sale. There were like
Yeah.
3 or 4 I really wanted, but none of them were in my size, so I had to pass it up. I was really upset.
And I
Yeah.
actually picked up another Metal Gear one.
Which one did you
Oh,
get?
really? Which one did you get?
It's white
Thanks.
and it's got
Right in.
two
Is it
guys in
blue?
like suits, but both of their heads have like cardboard boxes on
Oh
it.
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah.
that's
I thought it
cool.
was funny because of the cardboard boxes.
But we got quite a few things to talk about today. It was more a bit of smaller news, and actually Nintendo was again rounding out the news. So there's a lot of Nintendo stuff on today's podcast. But before we get into that, as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So close. We're sitting at 918 subscribers, so about 82 more subscribers to go to hit 1,000. Trying to get 1,000 before my birthday, or at least by my birthday, would be really appreciated. So definitely subscribe, share the channel, helps out a lot. Follow on
Hearts
Twitch as
Steam
well.
are your birthday wishes.
What's up?
I said that and Kingdom Hearts on Steam are your birthday present wishes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all I needed right there, which we will be talking about later on today. So let's just go ahead and get started with, I guess, what we've been playing. And I'm gonna start with what I've been playing actually this time. I've been playing a game that's actually pretty popular. It's very, very popular. It's called The Waiting Game. And in this game, you wait for your package to arrive. First, you gotta wait for it to be sent, and then you gotta wait for it to arrive. And that's because I bought Unicorn Overlord a week ago, and it's still not here. I'm like, hurry up, like get here, I want to play it. But luckily, I checked it out, and it's in my area, so probably on Tuesday, because I'm pretty sure the post office is closed on Monday, because it's coming through USPS. So post office closed on Monday, so I'll probably receive it by Tuesday. And
That's funny.
I was hoping to get it today. Like I would have been very excited if I got it today, but I guess I have to wait till Tuesday. I'm so excited to play that game because the little bit that I played, the 9 hours or whatever the demo is that I played, so far it's been my game of the year. I loved it, and I was like, I gotta play this game. The downside, the only reason why I waited is I saw it go on sale, and I didn't catch it while on sale, so I was like, you know what? Now that I know it's already been on sale, I'm gonna have to wait because it's gonna drop at that price again, and sure enough, it did. So that's pretty much what I've been playing, and then of course I've been playing the Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I actually picked that up again, started continuing my playthrough of that, and yeah, like the story's good. Like the gameplay is fun. it's one of those things that I pick it up, I get into it. It's very easy to get into. It's kind of easy also. Like if you don't, it's one of those games that you know where to go because there's a marker. There's always a quest marker. It tells you where to go. So like if I drop it and pick it up, can easily get into it. It's not too hard because the way the gameplay works is everything is time based. So when you go ahead and attack, you gotta hit the attack or your ability button, and does like extra damage or some type of status effect stuff like that. So it's very easy to drop in and out of. So I've been continuing that, but once Unicorn Overlord gets here, I'll probably stop playing that and continue that. Brian, what you been playing?
So real quick, at first when you said you were playing the waiting game, I thought it was like some indie game that's literally about like waiting for a package, something like a prequel to Death Stranding or something. I was like, wow, they're really getting bold with their gaming choices these days. But now I learned that you were being funny as far as waiting for a game. So what'd you say, Van?
It's being facetious.
Yes, indeed. So like I mentioned at the top, Stellar Blade, gonna get that damn platinum, and then I'm moving on. I do need to get back to Hi-Fi Rush. I'm like probably almost halfway done with that, and then I'm probably gonna boot up Paper Mario and start playing that because that just really speaks to me right now. It just looks so incredibly charming and just light and not like existential like Stellar Blade or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is or are. Just nice and light, nice and colorful, just about a 1,000-year door and all the adventures that are involved with it, and stuff like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to get into. No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Dragon Quest 11. That's another thing you need to play.
That's up there for sure. It is. Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Fan? What you been playing?
I mean, I was jumping into Ghost of Tsushima again since I had to take a break from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
On PC or PS5?
PS5.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about that today on how we were wondering how the whistle functions and all that stuff in on Ghost of Tsushima works on PC, because you would assume they had to account for people who don't use like a DualSense or like a DualShock controller. They could swipe on the trackpad. So I'm actually curious on how
like
that works.
Like a back button or something. If it's like an Xbox controller, maybe it's like that. Like what the equivalent of like the select button would be on an Xbox, like that top left center button or whatever. Maybe that's what you use or something.
Well, I mean, because remember, with the DualSense, you got to swipe, right? You swipe up and it does like the win, so you can know where to go. You swipe like left and it whistles or something like that. So you couldn't really use the select. Mm-hmm.
The touchpad has different directional. I thought it was like the only thing it did was you just swipe up to get the map or to get the wind, and then that's it. But the different directions.
You can go up, down, left, right.
Yeah, I think like left or right like sheaves your sword. There's a bunch of like different things.
There's a mission where like you would swipe left and it would like pull up the map that you would need to find this treasure on your screen, like on the TV or on your monitor while you're moving around, and then you could swipe right to like put it away, to like minimize it down again. Can't remember what down was. Haven't used down.
Whistling for the horse? No.
No, that's a D-pad to the left.
Oh, okay.
Left D-pad.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I played, so I know each there's 4 directions and each of them does something.
Yeah, they all do something.
Yeah, I know the majority is like everybody was just using it for the win to know like where to go, but I know they all do something. And I think swiping left or right sheaves your sword, or maybe swiping down. I don't remember. One of those. There. I'm actually curious. I'm actually probably gonna look at a video or something like that that shows like what exactly you do. But yeah, anything else?
Curious.
What?
Anything else you've been playing?
That's just the most recent thing. I mean, I've been messing around on my 3DS a lot lately.
Nice. What you been playing on your 3DS?
Super Mario 64 DS, and I started up Pokemon. I can't remember if it's X or Y, but it's one of those.
One of those? Nice.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed those. I know some people not fans of them. To me, I really liked them. It's the game that got me back into Pokemon. they're really fun. Actually, really fun. I feel like they're really balanced. Before like they really went like easy mode. That was the last balanced one, and I guess you can count like Alpha Ruby, or I'm sorry, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and start diving into our first bit of small news. Starting with rumors have been coming out that a new Astrobot should be coming out and possibly announced at the rumored state of play that might be happening this week. I'm actually excited for that because I really love the Astrobot game that came out for PS5. It was actually really fun. It felt like an old school like PlayStation 1 era platformer, right? Like Crash Bandicoot or like Spyro or something like that. It really felt like that, and I really enjoyed it. So rumor is a new Astrobot game is coming out. It's not a VR title, which I'm happy for, because that means that everybody will get to play it, and I think it's smart to diverse Sony's portfolio because we've talked about this plenty of times on the podcast. Basically, Sony's games all feel kind of the same, right? It's that cinematic action adventure game. When it comes to like Uncharted, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, right? You can kind of put it in just one single category, and that's it. Having a platformer like this, I think it's nice. Going to be very interesting to see how many people are going to cop it and not, because they seem to go towards the cinematic games because they do sell a lot. But I don't know. I like it. I probably will pick it up. I just don't know because I don't use my PS5 enough, and I feel like I'll wait for a PC port because eventually it'll come to PC like every other game they have. So, and then I can pick it up that way. So what do you guys think about that? Are you guys excited for that?
I'd be excited if it was VR, because then that would absolutely give me enough justification to buy PSVR, because the Astrobot game on PSVR is just absolutely fantastic. The game, the free game or whatever that came with PS5 in 2020 was good and fun too, but that VR game was just a real special thing. So I hope it's not true. I hope it is a VR game. But I'd be very excited if it were, because those games are really fun and just nice and light.
Are you a fan?
I didn't really get into the Astrobot stuff.
Did you play the free PS5 game?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should. It's such a treat. It's pretty
Yeah.
short. It's cute.
The Easter eggs.
Okay.
There's a lot of like PS1 era like Easter eggs. Like you'll see like other like Astrobots, I guess.
Franchises.
Yeah, they'll be like reenacting like moments from other franchises or like cosplaying as characters and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And that was actually probably the most fun I had. I would actually go around and see like what each one was doing. I would take a screenshot. So like my whole like library of like screenshots on the PS5 is the Astrobots reenacting like God of War, where they're on the canoe and it's like Atreus and Kratos on a canoe, or there's a Tomb Raider one. There's Final Fantasy in there. There's a bunch of other like Easter eggs which are pretty cool. I highly recommend it because they're hidden throughout the level, and the game is just fun in general. Really, really cool. Our next bit of small news: ROG Ally X specs have potentially leaked. Fan, I'm gonna throw it to you because you were the one that told me about this today, because I did not know that, and then of course I found out later on. But yeah, let us know, what are the leaks?
So the main leaks are going to be the RAM memory and the battery. Those are the two biggest things. So the old Ally had 16 gigs of DDR5, and it ran at 6400 megahertz transfers or whatever. The new one is supposedly going to have 24 gigs of DDR5X memory running at 7500 megahertz. So a lot quicker, which is kind of interesting because I think that's close. That's actually what the Lenovo Go runs at. That's what they have. So it looks like they're just matching what Lenovo did on their memory. But the battery, since that was your main complaint, went from a 40 watt hour battery to an 80 watt hour battery. So double the battery size, which in theory should, roughly double the battery life. But that's neither here nor there until you get, real world testing. They did also rip out the XG mobile port, so no longer the dedicated, like, weird proprietary ASUS external GPU you have to buy. they swapped it out for a USB-C 4.0, which
Oh, that's nice.
just like the Lenovo Go. So, I mean, that should be plenty fast since it already runs at 40 gigs, which I looked it up and the XG Mobile ran, I think also 40 gigs, so there wasn't really that much of a cost, like a benefit. It's just locking people into their platform, which kind of bit them in the butt.
What's so funny about that too is that like that Asus external GPU was like always sold out for like the 4090 or whatever, and it's like
Yeah.
if you're gonna make
Never
it,
hit it.
if you're gonna make it proprietary, like you better have it in stock, otherwise people are gonna want to get it, and if it's not in stock, then they're just gonna say to hell with it. And so if this is like more of a universal thing or whatever, like that's a really good move. Like that's really appealing actually.
Yeah, and then this is just a minor thing, but they did say that they swapped out the M.2 slot. So instead of the 2230 2mm size, which is the smallest you can get, they went with the traditional 2280mm. So you can just get a standard size M.2 drive to upgrade it.
Is that what the Steam Deck uses?
Yeah, no, the Steam Deck uses the small one, the 2232. 2280s is what you find in like laptops and desktops.
Oh, like a
and stuff
standard
that.
SSD size?
Yeah, it's a standard M.2 size. So you don't have to try hunting for a tiny one.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so kind of cool. Small little leaks. I thought was very interesting. I mean, the extra memory I've seen testing between the Lenovo Go and the ROG Ally, and even though they're the exact same processor, just the difference in RAM makes a huge impact in gaming. So that should help out with the extra RAM. Is going to be a big plus, and then the battery's going to be interesting.
You can tell James is running his fingers up and down his credit card numbers right now.
But it's
they're
funny.
getting itchy.
Like I joke around that it's kind of weird that how we do the podcast, right? I talk about something, and later on it's either like confirmed, like what I was saying or guessing at is correct, or what I complain about gets fixed. I don't know. Like, I'm just saying the track record on this podcast has been pretty consistent that every time I say something or complain about something, it gets fixed. So let me know your complaints, everybody, so I can do it, so we can get these things fixed.
Yeah, there's other stuff that they upgraded, but those are like the main takeaway points. Like, supposedly it has a new cooling system that's even better for cooling. So we'll see. And then apparently they changed the D-pad too. So, but again, I'm not too hung up on that until they actually release it and we can actually compare the old with the new.
Yeah, I also saw that they added Dolby Vision to the Ally screen, but it's only a 500 nit screen, so you're not gonna get
not
true,
very
like
bright.
Yeah.
HDR. So that's interesting.
What's Steam Deck's nit?
I don't know. I know it's higher than 500. Let's see.
Yeah, it has to be, right? Steam Deck OLED specifically.
Yeah.
Obviously, because that's the only one that has HDR.
Yeah, 1,000 nits.
Okay, see
HDR.
that's a lot more like it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is usually 1,000 nits is what HDR usually is.
Right.
Anything that tells you otherwise is not true HDR. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. There's also a rumor that the price is gonna be $800, and I don't know if it's $800 worth it. Like, it would be hard. Like, the double the battery life is cool because that's my biggest complaint was the battery life, and I think this would be the answer to my battery life problems. Because if I was getting like 2 hours, theoretically speaking, this should be 4 hours, right? Because you're doubling up the battery life, but that doesn't always translate the same because you are getting more RAM and faster RAM, so we don't know if that's going to also draw more power. The 2280 SSD, we don't know if that's also going to draw more power versus like a 36 or whatever. So it's a couple things that we don't really know. The new fans that they added, are they going to be, are they going to draw more power? Are they going to draw less power? It's one of those things that we don't know. But theoretically speaking, it should double up, right? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? If they ever do a big sale, I think I'll get it. I just think $800. I'd rather invest that in a GPU so that our streams can run better, and I don't get those encoding overload or anything like that.
Yeah, or just a second computer.
Yeah, or a second computer, or maybe I could just buy this as my second computer and just stream off of that. Nah, I'm just kidding. That would be horrible, I think. I mean, it'll probably be doable, but horrible.
Well, I have some news for you, James. Me and Fan talked, and your birthday is coming up, and we're definitely not getting you a new computer.
Man.
Computer,
Sorry.
yeah.
I see. That's fine. That's fine. Moving on to our next bit of news. And this is actually, because they're not getting me anything for my birthday, but Square Enix decided to get me something for my birthday, and that is Kingdom Hearts coming to Steam. Finally, another fact here that I complained about, that Kingdom Hearts was not available on Steam.
Existence.
Yep, and here we are. Kingdom Hearts finally coming to Steam on June 13th, which I'm super excited for. I will be picking it up. I've been wanting to replay Kingdom Hearts 3, specifically with the Remind DLC, because I still haven't bought that yet. And here we are. Now I can play all of that on my Steam Deck, because I assume everything will be Steam Deck verified. And this falls in line with what we talked about, was it last week or week before that, where Square Enix is trying to change their policy and move more multi-platform and stop doing exclusives. And that's kind of like their first initiative right there, was to bring that out there. But there's some more Kingdom Hearts news that was also talked about, and that is Midori, who she's a very reliable leaker. She does a lot of like Atlas leaks. Like she leaked recently the Persona 6 placeholder logo, and she's done a lot of like the Persona stuff. She usually does a lot of like Atlas Sega stuff. She was also the one that I believe she was the one that showed off the footage of Persona 3 Reload. At the time, we didn't know that was even coming, and she showed like a Sega thing where it showed that. It showed Jet Set Radio. And
Persona showed, right?
Yeah, it was Persona 3, Jet Set Radio, and then Sonic Frontiers, which already had came out. But she showed off those three things, and of course later on at the Game Awards we got the Jet Set Radio. I forgot what they called it, like the new Sega remakes or whatever they're calling it, and of course that. So it's definitely like believable. But anyways, she leaked that Kingdom Hearts, basically the whole series, will come also to the new Switch, and KH4 will also come to the new Switch as well, which I'm very excited for, because I think the original trilogy plus the side games could have easily worked on the Switch right now. There's no reason for them to have been cloud-based, because there's games that are heavier, like Witcher 3 for example, that run on the Switch, and they made it compatible. So like why not Kingdom Hearts? That's PS2 games. Some of them were on like DS, or not DS, but like PS2 and PSP games that were put there. Like why not? But I'm happy for that they're all coming there, and I'm happy that we're getting it on Steam finally, so I can play it on my Steam Deck. Are you guys gonna pick it up?
I'm definitely gonna pick it up. But here's the $1 million question in regards to the Switch thing. Is I wonder if they're just going to be truly awful human beings and make the people that bought it for full price on Switch with the cloud version, if they're going to make them pay full $1 for it again, or if they'll let them trade it for a fee. You don't think they're even do like a fee thing, like a $10 per game thing or something? They're full $60 a piece or something.
No, Square Enix would be like, well, sucks to be you. I mean, we just want to take more of your money. What about you?
To answer your question, I will get that Ultimate Integrum, whatever it's called. I'll get that for sure.
Yeah. Hey, they have an exclusive Keyblade as well, just for Steam.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's like the Steam colors, so like the Steam logo, it's the color palette of that, which is kind of cool. And I think, I believe they said on June 13th, there's also going to be more Kingdom Hearts news, because it says stay tuned for more Kingdom Hearts news on the like little thing with the announcement. So maybe some more Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff, maybe some trailers, I don't know. Maybe we'll get the Missing Link, which is that new mobile game that actually looks pretty decent. My only complaint is that I don't like that it's like Pokemon Go mixed with like an action, like Kingdom Hearts, right? Because the gameplay, like the fights are like Kingdom Hearts, but you run around on this map that's supposed to be, I forgot. I don't know if it's supposed to be a new world or if it's an existing world. I forgot. But it gives you the option to either A, use your GPS and you walk around, or B, you can just move around your character on the map, which is kind of, I don't know, weird. We'll see if it's good. But what about you, Fan? Are you going to pick it up?
I don't know. I might. I mean, I have that that bundle that they were selling, back in the day during like Black Friday, where it's like the all for one or whatever bundle, where you get like 1, 2, all the extra stuff, plus 3 in the DLC and stuff like that. I've only played 1 and 2. I haven't even started 3 yet. That was like once 4 was gonna come out was when I was gonna get into 3. But I don't know. Now that it's gonna come out on Steam, it's kind of like, man, should I buy it again? And that way I can play it on the Steam Deck as well as my ROG Ally. Like I could literally play it on the go. I don't have to be tied to my PS5.
Do it.
Kingdom Hearts is a franchise you can triple dip for easily.
I know.
It
It's not like I haven't
is.
done it before.
Yeah, I mean, I've bought it on PS2,
PS3.
yeah, PS3, Xbox. I bought it when it came out on Xbox. So it's like, have it there on PS4. I was gonna get it on Epic, but I was like, like it doesn't play
Dude,
correctly
you
on the
held
Steam Deck.
off.
Yeah,
You held
Yeah,
off.
good
You are a
holding off,
saint,
man.
sir.
yeah.
Good
Yeah.
holding off.
I
Think
know
about
when it
it.
was on sale, you were itching that you were
Yep.
pressing that mouse ready to click it to buy it, and you're like, no, I'm gonna keep the faith and wait, and
Yep.
it paid off.
It was in my cart, and I almost did it. Like after one of the podcasts, I had everything there, and I was just staring at it. I was like, nah, I'll wait.
Good for
And,
you.
and it's funny. I was talking with somebody, and I told him, like, if I keep the ROG Ally, I'm gonna buy Kingdom Hearts. And he's like, no. He's like, that is not a good what's the word he'll use?
Justification.
Yeah, good justification. Like you shouldn't make it based on if you buy Kingdom Hearts, you keep your ROG Ally or vice versa. So I was like, all right, I'll just hold off.
Obviously, you've never met a Kingdom Hearts fan before, sir.
Yeah,
so it's
he's
like-
a huge Kingdom Hearts fan too. Actually, I would
it's-
argue he's bigger than me. So
So like the one that they're selling, are they doing it like is it the same as like that all-in-one package like they did with the cloud version for Switch? Like it's just a bundle with all 3 of the games?
they're selling them
Or-
separate, and
Or
then
they're selling them separately? Okay.
yeah, separately. But I believe there's also going to be a bundle. We just don't know what
so
the
they're
price
doing
point of
they're
that.
doing okay, so they're doing it all.
Yeah.
You can do 1 plus 2 like
Yeah,
because they typically have those
1.5
combos.
plus 2.5.
And
Yeah,
then, yeah, and then 2.8, which is
2.8,
what was on the Switch, and then 3.
Mhm.
And then they're gonna do that bundle where you can get them all. Okay,
Correct.
I mean, depending on the pricing, I might just do the bundle again, so I can just get all 3 all over again.
Likewise.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. That extra keyblade is kind of cool looking.
It is, right? And they did say apparently, and I was watching actually one of HMK's streams, and he pointed out that they did say that the Steam version actually has updated textures on some of the games, where the Epic version did it, and of course the PS5 version doesn't, or PS4 version doesn't have any of that. So they will actually have updated textures in some of the games. It's not going to be like, like high res textures or anything like that. I don't expect it to be like the whole older games look like KH3 now. It's just
A little bit of a facelift.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
So it's pretty much the
Smooth
definitive
things out.
version,
Okay.
which I'm excited for. So all my Kingdom Hearts fans, and if you waited, good job. If you didn't wait, just buy it again. No, I'm just kidding. Don't give Square Enix money.
I mean, I bought that all-in-one package. It was on Black Friday, so it was only like $20. So I'm
Yeah.
really not like spending a ton of money.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about all the Nintendo news that came out. Starting off with Nintendo's acquisition. So they purchased Shiver Entertainment. Shiver Entertainment is basically a porting studio. They worked on porting, like PS4 and Xbox One games to the Nintendo Switch, or PC games, I guess, to the Nintendo Switch, and they purchased them. And it's kind of interesting because like when I look at that, it's like they're a porting studio. Typically, other companies will hire them to port their games to Nintendo. How is this going to work now? Like, are other companies going to hire Nintendo to port their games to their own platform? Or is Nintendo going to be like, hey, like we have a tool. It's called Shiver Entertainment, and you can use them to go ahead and get your games on there, which will make Nintendo more money in the long run. Like, it's kind of an interesting deal. Like, I really wonder what they're doing with that. Or, now hear me out this, or did they purchase a studio to work on existing games and get these like HD or like these upscale ports, right? Because there's rumors that like PS5s and like Xbox Series X, they're gonna have a backwards compatibility mode where it would like unlock the frame rate, give you a higher resolution, and so forth. Because pretty much every Switch game runs at a dynamic resolution, meaning that depending on the power it's pulling out, you'll see like everything fluctuate. A great example is like Tears of the Kingdom. There's upscaling involved in there, but there's also a dynamic resolution. So like if you turn the camera really quick, you will see it get pixelated, and then after you stop it, it like kind of fixes itself. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is also a great example. There was actually one part, there was so much things going on that literally, I swear not, like the resolution dropped to like 240p. It was horrible looking. And then it fixed itself like, like a few seconds later. But what do you guys think about this acquisition? Because I think it's kind of awkward that they bought a porting studio. And, some people are theorizing that Nintendo's will start bringing their games on PC. I'm pretty sure that is not what they're going to do. It's not like why PlayStation bought Nixxes to port over their games to PC. I think this is something different.
Or Bluepoint.
Or Bluepoint, correct. Well, Bluepoint is more for like HD remasters.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going to use them as technical support.
Technical support, really?
Yeah, for like other companies to port their games to the Switch.
Okay.
Like, hey, I'm having problems getting this game running on the Switch. I'm like, okay, well, here's our in-house, porting department, Shiver. Like, they're gonna be the ones to help you, like, make sure your game can work on the Switch. Okay. Like, that's what I feel like they're gonna be. Like, they're gonna be like that resource for outside developers to make sure the game runs well. Not be like, but from what I read, didn't they say that Nintendo said that they're still gonna keep doing what they're doing? So yeah. That basically means people, which means people can still commission them to make sure that their games port over to the Switch. So, I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag, It's hard to say what Nintendo does because they keep things so close to the chest that it's kind of hard to figure out what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. It's usually hard to predict why they do certain things. I mean, the funny thing too is like Nintendo doesn't usually buy companies. You have companies like Intelligent Systems is a perfect example who made Paper Mario, Fire Emblem. People don't realize Intelligent Systems not owned by Nintendo. Like they don't own them at all. They're still a third-party company, but all their games are exclusive for Nintendo. And
is it the company they should buy? They should buy Camelot.
Yes,
so they can get the rights for Waluigi.
Yeah, like they don't own the rights to like a lot of these things. Like people don't realize that. What about you, Brian?
Well, do we establish what Shiver's done? Did they do Hogwarts and Mortal Kombat 1?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah,
and 11.
And so like,
and they did some Scribblenauts games.
Okay, so like Mortal Kombat 1 was just absolute. I mean, it's an intensive game, so it can't really be blamed that it's awful on Switch. Hogwarts is impressive that they managed to squeeze that game in a Switch. So, I'm kind of. What'd you say?
I said, just imagine what they could do with the new hardware.
Oh, absolutely. I wonder. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's like there's another rumor, James. I don't know if we're touching on it or not, but that there's like a leak or whatever about Breath of the Wild getting a remaster or whatever for new console. Yeah. And like that makes me sick to my stomach because like if they're planning on going through Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, Fire Emblem Engage, Super Mario Odyssey, like and just doing these remasters for all of them and charging full price again for all of them.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't know if that has anything to do with Shiver or like. I just kind of started thinking about it, but no, I think Nintendo should have whatever resources it needs, and if they're planning on making a lot of these games that are on Switch right now compatible with the new one, which assuming they are because they're going to be backwards compatible, or Switch more than likely is going to be backwards compatible. Then they probably need a bunch of studios like that kind of specialize in bringing games forward and stuff.
Yeah, especially if they could get, like you said, Hogwarts Legacy running on a Switch, as well as it did with the limited hardware as the Switch has. Just kind of shows like maybe that kind of brought that's what like put them on the map for Nintendo. They're like, dang, they did that on a Switch. Like they were able to make it work. So in the Switch right now, what has a Tegra X1 processor or a custom version of it, right?
Yeah.
Which just a regular X1 runs because everything's running on T-flops is how they like measure processors, right? The X1 runs at 1 T-flop, 1 teraflop. It's rumored that the Switch 2 is gonna be running at 4 teraflops, which is what the Series S runs at. So I'm like, with 4 times the performance, I'm like, be interesting to see what this company can do in terms of porting a game over to the Switch too.
And I think too, yeah, with the teraflops like measurement too, it's not always exact, right? Because
Yeah.
if you remember, the Xbox One X, I believe, was 12 teraflops, but then the Series S is more powerful than the One X, but it runs at less teraflops, and it's because there's a lot of factors to run around that. It's just not like hard coded GPU. But one thing I did want to mention is Brian, you did mention Mortal Kombat 1. They did go back and fix it actually. So like the fiasco of like the faces was definitely, they said it was like something to do with the lighting, and they fixed it, and now it doesn't look like that, which is nice. But yeah, like what Fan was saying, like to see what they can do with these games, I can see that. I wasn't gonna touch on the Breath of the Wild like rumors, because the people that I usually follow that are usually 100% accurate, none of them have reported on that. So I'm like, if you guys are not gonna talk about it, I'm not gonna mention it, because
It just seems so like it would make so much sense. That's the only thing. Like,
Yeah.
you could be wrong, but it just
Yeah.
smells right for some reason.
I mean, I can see it upscaling, right? So like another bit of stuff that we are gonna talk about. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about that. Is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, right? We're gonna go ahead and jump into this topic. Basically, that game has in its code to run at 4K, and it's like,
That was cool.
there's nothing, the Switch can't do 4K, so it makes you wonder
Why is it there?
are these HD ports, maybe they're for like this, like when you get the new Switch, you put in Breath of the Wild, it's going to do like what the PS5 and Series X did. You get these enhanced versions of the game where you have a higher frame rate, higher resolution, and so forth. Going back to what I was saying before, a lot of Switch games are dynamic resolution, meaning that to keep a steady frame rate, it drops its resolution so that it can kind of fluctuate and stay more like performance bound, I guess you could say, versus graphics bound. And that would make sense. So if you get somebody like Shiver to like go to the backlog and be like, hey, let's adjust some of these things here on Breath of the Wild to go ahead and work better on the Switch 2 or Super Switch, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, that would make a lot of sense there.
New Nintendo Switch U.
Yeah, new Nintendo Switch U, and like
Switch me.
Switch me, Switch me. That'd be kind of weird. But I'm sorry, that name was weird. But yeah, like Paper.
I mean, it'll have two eyes, right? It'll have two eyes, so that'll be like the two.
Yeah, me. Yeah, and you'll have a me on the cover or something.
Yeah.
But Paper Mario running at 4K is kind of cool. Fan brought it up last podcast. The Switch dock it's capable of running in 4K, so it's already built into there. It's just that the Switch can't handle. Oh, Taki Udon, actually, he did a thing. If you haven't watched his video, he did a video on that and made the Switch run at 4K and said the Switch can definitely run at 4K. It might not be like the best frame rate, but it can run at 4K. And that's kind of interesting to see. And only the Switch OLED dock can do that, not the OG Switch.
Yeah, I think they have something to do with like the board. That might be what they use for the USB-C on it, maybe.
Yeah.
Some firmware or something, I assume, is associated with that.
And remember, that Switch dock is the only one that can do an update firmware too. So it's like, it makes sense. So it's kind of interesting to see. And I think we're starting to find out a lot more about the Switch 2. Another thing I wanted to bring up while we're talking about Thousand Year Door is that there was an old video from Game Explain. And I remember watching this, but I was just like, I think this is a little bit far-fetched. But now, when I think about it, maybe that's the case, because there was another game that was very similar. And it's that the new Switch might bring back the color A, B, X, Y buttons. If you play Super Mario RPG, you'll notice that A, B, X, Y are colored. Red, yellow, was it green and blue, I believe are the colors. And the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door are colored the same exact way. And now you could argue that the original Thousand Year Door was colored that, but you'll notice specifically that the like green A, or like A was green on the GameCube version because the GameCube A was a big green button, right? And then B was colored red because the GameCube was B. But with Nintendo's color scheme, I'll bring my 3DS here. Hopefully, you can't see it because of the blur. Let me see. No, because the background blur.
No,
but
not working.
Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, A is red, yellow is B, X is blue and Y is green. And in Paper Mario and Super Mario RPG, that's the color scheme for all the buttons. So you could say it's a callback to the old games. I don't think so because they're color specifically. There are also some third-party games. They are also showing those same color schemes, which now makes it really more interesting because it's not just Nintendo doing these color schemes. There's other third-party games that are doing the same thing. So
They have like marching orders.
yeah, like it's interesting because we know the dev kits are out there. There's already dev kits out there for the new Nintendo Switch. It's just a matter of doing that, and I'm pretty sure nobody wants to get hunted by the Nintendo ninjas, so that's why leaks haven't been coming out. Because
Yeah.
Nintendo will find you. They hired Liam Neeson to find everybody. So, but speaking of Paper Mario, one thing that I want to talk about, and it's something that I've mentioned plenty of times, that apparently Paper Mario was actually done back in June 2023, right? And I mentioned this a while back, and I remember, I want to say 2 years ago, I mentioned this, that Nintendo has a habit of finishing games, but they don't release them. So when all these credible leakers come out saying, "Oh, this is coming out, this is coming out," and it never comes out, they get seen as like, "Oh, like, you know, that's not true, you're wrong, blah blah blah." But I started being like, no, I think it is true. A great example was like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. When that came out, we found out that it was done like almost 6 months earlier, and it came out in July. It was supposed to come out in September, but then it came out in July. And Splatoon came out in September instead, so they kind of swapped dates there, and that was like one of the first things you saw. Fire Emblem Engage was another one that apparently it was done for quite some time, but it waited. They waited for it to come out. There's been rumors that there is a Fire Emblem remake coming out. And also Zelda Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess are both like kind of done. Like all of these are been done. Nintendo's just waiting for the right time. And I do really think that these games will probably be announced in this June Nintendo Direct, because what better way to finish off the year, especially when you have no new games, to just bring out ports, right? A remake of an older game. They did that with the 3DS with Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, and they also did it with Samus Returns 3D, right? So it kind of makes sense that they'll do these ports or remakes of older games. And I thought it was just kind of cool. I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Do you guys think that these games will show up in June? Do you guys think they're real, or do you still think that, that it's just fans wanting it to come?
I mean, it's hard to say on like whether it will come out or not, because you never know. Like you said, because Nintendo kind of sits on their, thumbs, putting these away, and like we'll release it when we want to release it, and it's possible. I mean, for them to make a Twilight Princess Wind Waker like release on the Switch, that's easy because it's the HD remake's already been done.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was on the Wii U and whatnot, so it'd be easy for them to port. I'd like them to try and do something, another game that hasn't been. And they've already done the Skyward Sword port, so I'd like them to do something different. Like do a freaking Link Between Worlds, like make that work on the Switch.
That would be kind of cool.
Or do a HD, a remake like they did with Link's Awakening, but with the Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages.
That'd be cool.
Just the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD and Switch is probably a safe bet because I mean it's easy for them to do. I like them to see something, have them do something different.
Yeah. But what about you, Brian?
I agree that it would be really cool for them to come out with like a Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. Even like what if they did like a Zelda remaster? Maybe that'd be more of like a Switch 2 project, like a total like a remake of not even a remaster, but like a remake of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Like those are all pipe dreams, and that'd be really cool. I think that Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are just so seminal at this point. Like they've been stranded on the previous hardware now for what 8. Well, the Switch came out in 17, and I bet I bet Twilight Princess came out in like I don't know, maybe 14 or 15, and Wind Waker probably came out in like 12 or 13, something like that. And so they've been stranded there.
Wii U came out in what, 2013, I thought, right?
12.
Or 2012? Okay.
No, 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I just really think that those are such important games. Wind Waker in particular, that like they need to be available now. Like they should have been available now years ago, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they need to be part of the ecosystem that's going forward with Switch Online, where like you don't have to make another account. Like the fact that they're on Wii U, which is like dinosaur eShop at this point, where you can't even buy this stuff anymore. It's a crime. It's really bad. So it would be cool to get those Oracle games. Like bring it all. Like give me Oracle, give me Link Between Worlds, like give me it all. But also like you have to knock out Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Yeah.
But then just kind of go back to what you said before, James. And it's something that you've brought up multiple times, and I agree with you with full force. Is that when you talk about Nintendo games and about like how they're just so good on their own merits, even though they don't have like the graphical fidelity of like a Spider-Man 2 or a Last of Us or whatever, but they're just good games. But just the idea that like that Nintendo could come out with the Switch 2 and like they have the capability of like doing these upgrades, like and again, we don't know for sure, but let's say that this Paper Mario 4K thing is real. Like just imagine, like just because the artwork of that game is so good and it's so contemporary and it doesn't age because of just how great it looks. Imagine that at 4K, and like that's all they have to do with these games. Like just make the resolution better, and a lot of them, like the art styles, carry them the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So I really think the Switch 2 has, or the new Nintendo Switch U has the name pending, has such a capability of being just such an exceptional system, like just absolutely kill it. But Nintendo has to not get in their own way. And I mean, granted, they didn't with the Switch, like it's sold really well. But I really think I really have a good feeling about whatever the next Switch is, and I can't wait for this Nintendo Direct. James, you and I are a fan. If you're available, like we got to do a live stream of it.
Oh, of course. I'm definitely the thing
I
about
will
their
take off
Nintendo
of work,
Direct. Yeah, as like let's say I'll have to use like a sick day or something like
whatever.
just to do that because like I'm excited for this Nintendo Direct. And I definitely will take off to stream that.
Yep, I'll be with you.
But I thought about a name. What if Nintendo gets very like prideful and they're like, we're gonna call it the they're gonna steal Sega's thing and they're gonna call it the Nintendo Master Switch.
That sounds dangerously close to something, which we won't say, but maybe.
I was gonna say Master System, but they wouldn't do that because that's too close. So they call it the
Yeah.
that, or maybe they call it the Switch Master System.
Yeah,
They wouldn't
maybe
do
that.
That would be too close.
Yeah, that's too
SMS,
close,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like I think they're coming, and I do think we've had this drought, right? We only got, as far as first party goes, Endless Ocean, which I believe is considered first party, Paper Mario, and then we got Luigi's Mansion coming out soon, and that's really it. Like for the year, like I don't think anything else came out in January. Or Princess Peach came out in March. So
Which I heard did okay.
What else?
Which I
Another
heard did
Code
okay.
came out
Like it did okay
in January, I think.
Yeah. What came out in January?
Didn't wasn't it Another Code came out in January?
Oh yeah, Another Code. Oh, and then
Recollector.
Mario versus Donkey Kong in February.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so they've
February.
done almost a game every month, and
Of varying degrees of importance and quality, but
yeah,
Yeah.
but they're still pulling out like exclusives,
Yeah.
right? And that's one thing. Like it wasn't for everybody. It's not like what I would say like the majority of the fan base cares about. Like I still want to pick up Mario versus Donkey Kong because they're really fun like puzzle games, and I do want to pick that up. I do want to pick up Princess Peach as well. It's just like, hey, I don't have the money right now, so I have to pick and choose kind of everything, and it's like they're still pulling out games for the most part monthly. So June, Luigi's Mansion is in June, right? Or is it later on? Because now I want to double check.
Let me look it up. I don't remember if it's July or June.
Yeah, let me see. It was Luigi's Mansion 2. Mansion 2. HD Switch. June 27th. So they have one every month, right? May, Paper Mario. April was Luminous, Endless Ocean. March was Peach. February was Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
January is Another Code.
January is Another Code. So every month. So we still need a July, August, September, October, in maybe December game, right? Which could be a Fire Emblem remake. Zelda, if they decide to, they can definitely put Wind Waker separate from Twilight Princess and call those two games, which the rumor wasn't that it was going to be both of them. There was another rumor that Nintendo does have a Metroid Prime 2 and 3
Please, I
HD
need that. I need
remasters,
that.
like
Yeah.
double pack, right? So that could be another month. So we'll have what, July, August, that's what, September, and we need October. We need like 3 more games. So maybe Xenoblade Chronicles X, because that's a game that a lot of people have been wanting because it's stuck on the Wii U.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, it's
And a lot of people
stranded on
haven't
Wii U.
played. And Xenoblade Chronicles X is my favorite Xenoblade Chronicles game. Like, I love that game.
What is it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I'm a sci-fi nerd. Like, I'm a huge Gundam fan, right? I like Gundams and like anything to do like that. Just mech genre in general. Like, I do like. And this has the mechs, but it has the sci-fi elements too. And like, you just put it together with a RPG, and it's just like chaos, right? It's a
So it's
chaos.
kinda like
Oh, the
Xenogear,
cliffhanger
like-
I hear too.
Yeah,
The one
it's
back on
like-
PS1.
Yeah, you mix that and then you sprinkle a little bit of Nomura sauce, right? Where you're like, what am I playing? Like, I don't understand anything. That's Xenoblade Chronicles X, right? Because it does have a crazy story and there's a lot of like, oh wow, like I didn't expect that. And there's so many like twists throughout the story, and then the ending is just a huge cliffhanger. Think Final Fantasy VII remake ending, right? The ending to this is kind
Or
of
Rebirth, maybe. You'll
Yeah.
find out
Well-
You'll find out next stream.
soon, yeah. So it has that, so I can see something like that happening. Yeah, I mean, they honestly, Nintendo's got like, they got the formula down. I think they're doing good. Out of all the companies, they're probably the best suited to just like dominate, which is funny because they're dominating without power. They're just dominating with fun, which matters the most. And you look at mobile gaming, they dominate because, well, I guess it's not really fun. It's more addiction. So let's not talk about that. But yeah, and last bit of Nintendo news I did want to talk about. Midori did say that Nintendo is working on a new Mario game. Its code name was oh shoot, I did not save that one. Hold on. I thought the code name is SP Red. Red is always the code name for Mario games, and then she had put out a list of all like the games that were like codenamed, like what Mario Galaxy was, Super Mario Wonder, and so forth. She said Super Mario Odyssey was codenamed Red Star. So this one is SP Red, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know what SP could stand for, like, because I was thinking like Game Boy SP.
Single
but, like,
player.
Yeah, I guess single player, but like,
No, I was
yeah,
asking.
like, technically every 3D Mario game is single player. I don't think outside of like playing as Cappy, every other game has been, and I guess being able to control the star thing in Mario
Star,
Odyssey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
it's
Mario
like-
Galaxy, you mean, right?
Yeah. Oh, did I say Odyssey again? Sorry, Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, they've been really single player. So very interesting stuff. A lot of stuff coming out, and I think I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Nintendo pulls out. I'm also excited for PlayStation State of Play because they need to show something. I just am less excited because I know when I see these games, I'm like, okay, I can play it on my PC as well, right? Versus I see a Nintendo game, it's like, yay, I get to boot up my Switch again. See, I think that was the last bit of Nintendo news. Yep, that's the last bit of Nintendo news. So let's go ahead and talk about our last topic. And this is a smaller topic. I wasn't going to put this in, but I do kind of want to talk about this because it does have kind of to deal with, I think, what I've been feeling personally. Neil Druckmann, I believe that's how you say his name, says Druckmann. There we go. His next game will revolutionize the way basically casual fans see gaming, right? And he did post another tweet saying that like that's
He was
not
misquoted.
Yeah, it was misquoted. And if you go through that, I don't think it really answers that it was misquoted, but it does kind of, sound like he's saying that, right? And it just had me thinking, like, even if that's misquoted, but if you look at the interview, it does seem that they're looking less at the hardcore video game fans, and they're looking more at the broader picture, right? Which everybody's trying to build their fan base, right? Nintendo has said it plenty of times that we're trying to bring casuals in, but they also want to make sure that the mainstream audience, like the main gaming audience, is also satisfied because they understood that with the Wii, they brought all the casuals in, but then what happened was all the hardcore gamers just left because they're like, okay, the games that I really want are not there. And then
Everything's waggle.
Yeah, exactly. They slowly brought him back in. Do you guys think that this just continues to be the issue, that the people in these studios or head of these studios or head of these companies still see that like they're just chasing dollar signs, right? Which, granted, yeah, you're doing this maybe for fun, but also to make money. Do you think that this is just the issue, that they're trying to cater too much to a casual audience that they lose the hardcore audience, or do you think like nah, this is just people just taking it out of complete context?
I trust Druckmann. I mean, The Last of Us is just such a runaway success that I really trust his judgment as far as what he deems something that the public would find valuable, casual or hardcore. Um, I don't know. I just think that whatever he thinks is the right path for Naughty Dog and the right vision for PlayStation to get people to buy games is what he's going to do. I mean, I don't think that The Last of Us Part 1 or Part 2, me as a hardcore gamer, made it not approachable. Like, this is too casual. Like, no, that game was really engrossing and everything that you'd ask for. I mean, they spun a very successful TV show off of it. And so I think a game like The Last of Us kind of hit the best of both worlds. So I don't know. I really think that he probably has a couple things cooking, especially with The Last of Us season 2 coming out, that they want to do a lot of brand synergy and they're gonna just kind of put forward what they think is the best product. And given their track record of just nonstop successes, I don't think they've had a dud like at least in a long time or ever. I think we should trust them that they know what they're doing.
But does this mean that Jack and Dexter is dead?
Probably.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to hand that off to another company to remaster and port.
Yeah. Or is this game for casuals Jack and Dexter? Mm.
Oh, and
I'm wondering like if their next IP or the next game, like, because when they make the game, they're thinking of it as like, this is a game that's gonna be story driven, right? And it's gonna be, people are gonna enjoy it and stuff like that.
Jack and
And
Dexter, the story untold.
but now like since like The Last of Us was doing so well, maybe they're like trying to figure out like, all right, so what's the next story we can tell, but that can be done in multiple mediums.
Jack and Dexter.
Like just not the game, but like make sure that this can also translate to the big screen. Because
Jack and Dexter the movie.
Hey man, maybe Jack and Dexter like a Netflix animated series.
There you go.
It'd be like a buddy cop show.
There you go.
I don't know. They tried that with Ratchet and Clank, and that movie. I mean, it wasn't Naughty Dog; it was Insomniac, but that movie wasn't that great.
Yeah. Right? I mean, he can write the story of Jack and Dexter. I'm just telling you. It fits everything.
Reboot
Casuals, multiple
Clank
mediums.
turns into a zombie.
You can put it on Cartoon Network, add it on Toonami's rerun that's coming. No, just kidding. I mean, it's a 2000s IP. They can technically put that in there, and there you go. See, it fits rerun perfectly. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, fan. I'm sorry, I was trying to say Jack and Dexter as many times as possible, and then next thing you know, it will get announced, right? So
Oh,
it's
you're
true.
trying
We
to
have that
put it
power.
there.
We established that.
I'm using this power to try to do it, guys. So everybody, give me all your energy. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Like, I do like the cinematic movies because Metal Gear Solid, right, is very cinematic, and I do enjoy it. But the gameplay is also very, very fun, and I do like sneaky style movies. Like Uncharted to me is more stealthy, and I do like those style like gameplay. But the story is also fun. Like, I remember playing Uncharted 1 and 2, and my wife would watch me play. And she like took interest into the game because she was watching that Last of Us, the first one. She also watched me play. I still have yet to play part 2. I don't know why.
I'm holding out. I'm gonna do
it's
what
really
I did.
good.
I'm gonna do what I do with part 1.
Yeah, I think originally I was waiting for the PS5 remaster version, right?
Well, it's out now.
It is, yeah. But then now I think I'm waiting for a Steam Deck version. Because it's like, slowly it moved the bar. Because now it's like, I might as well get it. Because I don't use my PS5 enough. And that was the whole reason. Because at the time, when I bought my PS5, I was actually using it a lot more. And I was like, oh, I'll just wait for the PS5 version. Like, Ghost of Tsushima was an anomaly because it came around the same time. But, like, I love samurais. And it's like, you give me a samurai game, I'm going to just buy it, right? You give me Onimusha again, like a brand new Onimusha game, I'll buy it day one. Yeah, it's not historically accurate because there's like demons going everywhere and stuff like that. I mean, unless that's true, I don't know. wasn't alive at that time. So, but anyways,
Give me Japan and I'll buy it. I don't care what the context is. I
Yeah,
will buy
that's true.
anything Japan related, pretty much.
That's true.
It's,
Did you
what's
buy?
it like it'd be a bullet train simulator. You just you're just
I should
driving a
get
bullet
that.
train.
There you go. There is a game like that on Switch. You can even buy the little
Yeah, the
like
din thing. Little,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you should get that.
Or were you gonna ask me if I bought, James?
Huh? I was gonna ask you if you bought what's that game? The World Ends with, or Neo the World Ends with You.
Yeah, I own it. I haven't played it yet though.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Okay, so then you can say give you Japan, you'll buy it. Okay, because this takes place in Japan. I don't own it yet, so I really want to buy it. I just don't know what I want to buy it on. Probably my Steam Deck. But I gotta play the first one. I still have yet to play the first one, and I hear
That's
it's
on
really good. DS and there's a Switch
and
version
Switch.
as well.
Yeah.
But everybody says that the DS version is the best one to play.
Yeah, I've heard that too, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I know. Like, you have
DS
to.
is just not ergonomic.
Yeah, that's true. Because when I was playing my 3DS in bed the other day, my hands started hurting,
Ramping up.
and it's really bad. I was playing Kid Icarus, and
that's
Kid
the worst.
Icarus, yeah, I was like, I cannot do that. I played for like 30 minutes. I did like 2 levels, and my hand was cramping up so bad. I was like, yeah. The wonder they sold when they sold you the game, yeah, they had that little thing where your 3DS like sits on, because your hand would it cramps up because you're holding it. You have to do a bunch of things with your like the track, or not trackpad, the circle pad, and then the ZL is to like shoot, and then you have to use the stylus to move around and aim and like dodge and all that. Oh man. Cool game though. Like I can really see why people are liking it. Why they want a modern controlled version of the game.
Yeah, I had to buy
at least with Switch you have options
to make it like somewhat foldable.
That actually, that looks like. Where'd you buy that at? Amazon?
It was on Amazon. Yeah, it's just a little grip thing that snapped on the back, and it made it like a little bit easier to hold.
Does it have a stand, like a kickstand?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Actually, interesting. What were you gonna say?
Kid Icarus or Uprising confirmed for that Switch or the Nintendo Direct in a month.
Yeah, there we go. See,
I would not be surprised.
That'd be dope.
That would be awesome. I would pick it up day one and play that, because the game looks great. And imagine that upscale to like Switch textures, like you were saying, the art style.
Great.
That's the thing about Nintendo. Their art style, like look at Wind Waker.
Yeah. And people were so mad about Wind Waker too when that came out. Oh my god, people were mad.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's because they were shown that other tech demo.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why they were like, "All right, bait and switch. You guys."
Yeah, they wanted adult.
I mean, to be fair, I was one of those that was mad, but I think of like my mindset at that time. I wanted everything to be dark and gritty, right? Like Resident Evil Remake was like, oh yeah, you're getting all these dark and gritty stuff. But now when I look back at it, I was like, wow, like Nintendo was smart. Like they got this cell shaded graphics that ages very well.
I mean, you got your dark and gritty with
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess, yeah.
Which looks ugly. Even when the Wii U remaster, it looks ugly. I am not a fan of like the art style. I was playing it on my Steam Deck, and I'm like, oh man, like.
How do you feel about the game?
Fine.
The game's still fine.
Gameplay's good.
Yeah, it's very fun. I still like it. I hate the wolf stuff. They made it easier in the Wii U remaster, because like you have less of those like teardrops or the spirit orbs, whatever they are, to find. But other than that, like it's still a fun game. Like the game overall is still fun. The art style is just very ugly. I'm not a fan of. Where Wind Waker, like I can play that and like everything looks gorgeous in this game.
Yep.
So and I honestly think Nintendo don't make Zelda like with realistic graphics. Keep the cell shaded. I think it works perfect for that game. It's not. You don't need. I mean, a lot of realistic looking games don't look that great. They don't age well. You go back to like PS2 era games.
You get that weird uncanny valley. That's the problem. Why?
Yeah, like it's just like Valkyrie Profile 2. I was playing that, and it's like the art style is not real realistic, but like the backgrounds are like realistic, but the characters are more like, I don't know, like how to put it, but it just doesn't like upscale well, if that makes sense. I don't know how to answer it, but yeah. I mean, just look at PS3 era games. They don't look that great anymore. At the time, you thought it was cool, but then you look at Resident Evil 5 now, you're like, wow, this is like the ugliest looking game I've ever seen. It's just all yellow.
What if they
and-
made like a Zelda Strangers of Paradise edition?
What, you talking about like that art style? Because like Stranger of Paradise is an
I'm-
ugly looking game.
No, I mean like each level is that different art style of each of the games.
That would be dope. Actually, I would play that. So like Dragon Quest, that's funny. I was talking to somebody about this earlier. Dragon Quest 11, the 3DS version. When you go to Ticking Town is the area in the game. It's a side quest, so it's not a spoiler. It's an area of the game where you can go back and you have like little quests to do from previous Dragon Quest worlds. So like you go there, they'll take you to like Dragon Quest 1.
It was me you were
world, 2, and
talking
3.
to, I think, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. It
Was
me
I?
you were talking to.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember because I told multiple people this, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, in that game, you go to like on the 3DS version, you go to like Dragon Quest 1, and it's the NES graphics. You go to Dragon Quest 2, it's NES. Dragon Quest 3 is the SNES version. Dragon Quest 4, SNES, 5, SNES, and so forth. And they match the art style up to 7, because 7, instead of doing the PS1 graphics, they do the DS remake graphics, which makes sense because, or not DS, but 3DS one. The DS, they'll do like the DS graphics, which is basically like 3DS graphics, I guess. 8 will be the 3DS graphics, and then 9 and 10 and so forth will be 3DS. So they do all of those, but they change their art style depending on the world, which is cool. Where in the Switch version, and of course PC and everything like that, they don't. It's only the 16-bit art style for all worlds, which I thought was really, really kind of like crappy there.
Missed opportunity.
Oh, not Egyptian. You just rolled credits on DQ11. Nice.
Oh,
Congrats.
man, this is like James Christmas. You got Kingdom Hearts on Steam. You have people beating Dragon Quest 11.
Yes.
Does it get any better, folks?
Hey, not Egyptian was one of them. I told him, you got to play DQ11. You got to play DQ11. I kept telling him, and he started playing it and started loving the game. There was somebody else, too, that I talked to. I told him the same thing. You got to play DQ11. He started playing it, and like he's obsessed with the game now. So, Bryant, you're next.
Yeah, I'm totally down. Like I told you, I just stopped because of the MIDI soundtrack, but
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah. And you too, fan. You got to do it so we can all have Dragon Quest 11 power.
I mean, the only thing I've played is so far is just the demo on the Switch.
10 hours? Did you do all 10 hours of the game? or
No.
No?
No.
Oh. It was a very generous demo, and I used to thought, wow, 10 hours is a long time, but that's
It's like
like
1/20th of the game.
no, it's like, yeah, it's like 1% of the game. Like, that's it.
No, I can't put that much time into another game when I'm already playing Ghost of Tsushima and
Yeah.
I've only put 1% of that on the map. That
Well, that's
island's so
different. That's a lot of
huge.
side quests there, where Dragon Quest is like, I mean, there's side quests in it, but the majority of the game, like, the main game is probably like 100 hours on its own. I don't know how long to beat
Mainline.
says, but like mainline games there. Now the Egyptian says it took him 15 months on and off, and almost every second was worth it. There you go.
See what you did, James.
See? I'm telling
15
you,
months.
Dragon Quest 11 is very, very good.
Hey man, you can only pick one game for me to play, and I'm still working through Breath of Fire 4, so you can't keep pushing.
That's
that.
true. I did tell you to play Breath of Fire 4. And that's your next homework studies after Breath of Fire 4, which is another amazing RPG that should be played by everybody. Both good games. In both games, nobody has ever really played as
Who owns Breath of Fire? Who's the developer?
Capcom. Yeah, Capcom.
All right.
They forgot what RPGs are outside of Monster Hunter. If you want to call Monster Hunter an RPG.
I mean, all they're really doing is Monster Hunter and Street Fighter. That's like their
And
two,
Resident
and that's
Evil.
it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, kinda. Because we had Devil May Cry 5, and who knows when they're gonna do the next Devil May Cry.
Oh, that's coming.
Yeah. And then Mega Man is just like,
Oh, don't.
there.
Are you trying to wound me, James? We had such a nice podcast today talking about Kingdom Hearts and everything. You're like, let's
Yeah.
talk about Mega Man. Let's just
hey,
bring
if
this
we talk
podcast
about Mega
down.
Man, it'll come back.
Oh, that's
We're-
true.
we're-
That's
yeah,
true.
We're just
Yeah,
gonna
let's start
have
talking
a
about it.
Mega Man centric episode where we just talk about our favorite Mega Man games. There we go. See?
Since we're winding down, could we actually just have like a real brief go around of like what the best Mega Man game is? Like we don't really
Sure.
have to like
Let's do
super
it.
get into it.
We'll do that real
Okay.
quick before we end. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
What-
you go first, James.
The best Mega Man game ever made is Mega Man
Yep.
Soccer. No, just kidding.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting choice. That's a curve
Nah.
right there, James.
For me, it's very hard for me to choose one, honestly. Like, cause I always divide my Mega Man games between the like I don't want to say franchises, between the what would you call them? Like,
Series?
I guess, yeah, between the series. There we
Series?
go.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking about OG Mega Man and Base is my favorite out of all of them. With
Interesting.
Mega Man 8 being a very close second, and they're very close in in terms of like the way they play, right? Because Mega Man 8 came out on PS1 and what was it, Sega
Saturn.
Yeah,
Yep.
where around that same time Mega Man and Base came out on SNES because there was no there was no PS1, or like, I think the 64 wasn't out at the time. So
Okay.
you had that, but if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely choose Mega Man and Base over that because it has more modern controls. So it has everything that Mega Man has in Mega Man 8, but there's two different play styles. You have Base, which is awesome. I love Base, and then you have, of course, Mega Man, and you can go through the game twice using both different play styles, and they play totally different, which is kind of cool. And they had the upgrade system too, where you can attach all these things and do different like upgrades. Like Base, he can't shoot through walls, but Mega Man can. But you can equip something that actually allows him to shoot through walls, or you can equip.
He has like an
something else.
automated gun, right? He has
Yeah, he has like a rapid
shoots
fire.
out yeah.
Yeah, which means you also can't move and shoot at the same time. Where Mega Man, you can move and shoot at the same time if you wanted to. But Base also has like double jump. Mega Man can slide, so there's certain areas you can go to with Mega Man only.
Slide.
Exactly. But yeah, I would have to choose with that Mega Man Base. If we're talking about the X series, I don't know. It's hard. Like, I like X1, but I also like
I
X3.
think
Like, X3 is also cool. X1 is like my favorite because it's so nostalgic, but I think X3 is also
Yeah.
the better game. I like X3 a lot. Shoot, in that opening level.
So we're gonna say Mega Man and Base and X3 if
Yeah.
we're gonna go to different series.
And then Zero. I'll say the first Zero is the best out of all
Now you're
four
just
of them.
naming every Mega Man game. I said your
No,
favorite
I'll
Mega
say by
Man
series. And then we got
No, we're-
ZX2, and then Mega Man Battle
They're
Network.
all good games. We
We'll go
all
with
know
Mega Man
this.
Battle Network. Maybe 2. No, I'll say Team Proto Man. So that's Mega Man Battle Network 5. Star Force. Okay, I'll let you guys choose because we could go down the road because they're all different, right? They play different,
Yeah.
so like it's hard to choose just one. All right, you
That's
go.
why this is such a great topic. Go ahead, Fan. I'll go last.
Well, I mean, I only have 2 that I played growing up that I remember like nostalgia for, which would be Mega Man X
Okay.
and Mega Man 6.
Oh, Mega Man 6. That's a deep cut because that came out like right at the end of the
Yeah,
NES's
in the life
cycle.
of the NES. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
want to say it came out like in 90, 90,
when it came out.
95 or something? 94? Really late.
I will say this.
93, man.
93,
I
okay.
was 9 years old.
I do want to add that Capcom, you guys suck for not putting Mega Man and Base in those collections. I just want to say it. Like,
That was a missed opportunity. I
Yeah.
agree. That was a missed
I
opportunity.
don't
Like,
understand
put it
why
in the
they
Legacy
didn't.
collection.
Yeah, like it fits perfectly in there. Like, Legacy Collection 2 only has what, 4 games, I think, right? 7, 8, 9, and 10.
No, they could easily
Correct.
add it on there.
Yeah, they could have added Mega Man Base on there.
And soccer. What the hell? Like you were saying.
Yeah, put soccer. Put what was the other Mega Man game? Wasn't there like a kart racing game too?
Sounds vaguely familiar. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
And there's also like Mega Man Fighters, I think, because you can play that in Street
Yeah,
Fighter
that was the
6.
arcade game.
Yeah, you can play that in Street Fighter
Yeah.
in 6, which is cool.
You can play them in the Capcom arcade collection.
Is it in a Capcom?
Those
arcade?
games.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
in. I think it's in the. I don't remember if it's in the second one or if it's in the first one. It's in one of them though.
Okay, I did not know that. I'm gonna
Both
have to
of
look
them.
at that.
Yeah, the power. It's called the Power Fighters.
Yeah.
As for me, the best Mega Man game, and I'm not gonna get all wishy-washy like James and just start naming every every game. I have one in my head. It's gonna be Mega Man 3, hands down, no question. I remember as a kid the prolific opening that dun, 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 and then like it's the music's just very dramatic, and then you go to like to the stage select screen, and the music just plays. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I can name all of them for Mega Man 3: Sparkman, Snake Man, Needle Man, Hard Man, Gemini Man, Magnet Man, Shadow Man, and I can't believe I can't remember I don't know which one I've said already. Um, Needle Man. I don't think I said Needle Man. Okay, so those are the 8. And I just remember playing it when I was a kid and not ever being able to beat it because it gets really tough, especially for a kid. And now as an adult, going back and playing it and just like going through the entire thing, it's just a masterclass. Like a lot of people say, like Mega Man 2 is actually the best. It's like the most like pure or something like that. But like 3 introduces the slide, which is just so integral to what Mega Man is now. So that's my choice. Like I can go back and boot up Mega Man 3 any day and just have a blast. So now that we've put Mega Man into the ether, hopefully we'll see some results soon, and then I'll be very happy. I'll be like James on a Kingdom Hearts morning.
Yeah.
You know, with the list of characters they have, you'd be surprised they didn't have like a brawl style game.
Like a fighter game, or
Yeah,
Like-
no,
like
I
s-
mean
like
not like a
Super Smash
regular fighter,
Brothers?
like a Super Smash Brothers brawl. You know, like
I-
just having like 4 to like 8 freaking enemies just all over the screen doing like all these crazy powers and stuff like that.
I would like is that in the next Super Smash Brothers game, instead of putting Mega Man in there, swap him out with like X, because X I feel like gets no love. It's either Mega Man or Zero, right? X is just like there, and yeah, you can say X is just Mega Man but bigger with a dash technique, right? But I would
what
like him to
MVC
be
was
there.
he in?
The bad one, Infinite, yeah,
Okay.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite,
Yeah,
the one that nobody
Infinite, yeah.
likes. Yeah, that was the only time they
The
put him
ugly
in
one.
it. And nobody like played that game because it sucked. But I would like that. Like I have a video that I'm trying to work on that's about Super Smash Brothers, and I was just thinking ideas like what characters could you put in? Because it's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Then what goes beyond Ultimate, right? Like Ultra, like Super Smash Bros. Ultra. Or
Go
something.
beyond Ultra.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't know. What would
I mean,
like,
you can go like Infinite, you can go Millennium, like just things way out
yeah.
there.
No Infinite. We've already found out that Infinite's bad. Anything with an infinite in the
Well, I
title
mean,
seems
that's
to,
why
like,
I that's why I don't think there'll be a Mario Kart 9
yeah,
because the 8 is basically an infinite symbol.
yeah,
So
That's
like it's
true.
just gonna go on forever.
yep. That was one of my first videos actually. Was Mario Kart 8 is secretly Mario Kart Infinite, which was funny. That one actually got a lot of traction. Which is I can see, like, honestly, Mario Kart is a game that can be a perfect live service. It literally can be the game that you buy it and then you just continue adding to it. You really don't need another Mario Kart game because all people want is more characters to play as and more tracks.
James, let's use this power to put things into existence for good, not for Mario Kart live service evil. That seems horrible.
Well, I mean,
Let's be responsible
I'm talking
with our
about in
powers.
live service in terms of that, right? Like they did the pass
Updates, you
thing,
mean?
yeah. Which is to me was cool. Like every time there was a new track, I went back and played it, and it was included with the Nintendo
Switch
online. Yeah, Switch Online.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. Like out, Switch Online.
I'm already paying for it, so I'm basically getting it for free. Yeah.
Exactly. Like why not? Right? But yeah, Mega Man needs to come back. 100% agree. Love me some Mega Man. Mega Man and Base. I still think it's the best Mega Man game though. Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
and how,
like it
how they
more.
portrayed Base in the Mega Man Battle Network animated series.
It was actually pretty cool. I love that. Wait, he has the cape in there. Oh yeah, Base was
Yeah.
awesome. I didn't like the way they portrayed Zero though. Zero was in there and he was a virus, and it was just like, like.
That's where they're going with him, is to be like a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean the whole story, and that's another thing. They need to finish X. Like Mega Man didn't really finish on a cliffhanger because we know eventually like Mega Man dies, right? But X was more story focused, and that finished on a cliffhanger because you found out a lot of things. Like Axel, I believe, what was it? That Axel was carrying the virus or something like that. He was Sigma, I think, almost like reincarnated, and then
Oh, really?
yeah, I believe that's what it was. I don't remember. It's been so long, but I know there was something like there's a secret ending, so you have to beat it, and you have to beat it a couple times because you could choose like your party members, right? You choose either X, Zero, and Axel or whatever, but you have to beat it a couple times, and then you get the true ending, where they kind of talk about everything. Like Zero's like, yeah, eventually like the virus is inside of me, and eventually I'm gonna corrupt everybody. So like Zero knows that he has to go and he has to die somehow. And then Axel, I believe was that he was like Sigma reincarnated. That basically once they get a hold of him, he could turn into Sigma again. So they're like
What
trying to
game
bring
was
that
this?
back. Mega Man X8. Yeah.
Really, it got that deep. Interesting.
Yeah, it was like there's a whole cutscene. You could just look it up, like
On
Mega Man
YouTube or whatever.
X8 True Ending. Yeah, and it left on a cliffhanger because it was getting to the part where it was closing the gap between Mega Man X8 and Mega Man Zero, right? Because Mega Man Zero starts the whole L4s and stuff like that, and Zero's
And I was
already
like,
dead. X is already
Yeah.
dead. So
Can you imagine those people waiting for the cliffhanger to come about, or like the next chapter to come about from waiting for X8, because X8 came out in
2007, I think?
2004. Came out in
Oh,
2004, so
oof.
20 years ago.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that want that. Like Spawn Wave,
Yeah.
I watch his YouTube videos a lot. He was one of them that anytime he talks about Mega Man, he mentions that. He's like, Capcom, you should finish Mega Man X bring us Mega Man X9 because you left it at a cliffhanger. Also, if you have the game, play it. The game is fun. Graphically,
Yeah, it's not bad. It's certainly not 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 7.
7's horrible.
Yeah, it is. But it's fun. It went back to its roots. Graphically, I'm not a fan of the art style. I just prefer just to go back to like cell shaded.
2D.
But the story was pretty in depth. Mega Man ZX2 is another one that left on a cliffhanger. A really bad cliffhanger too, because I was so hyped, and then they canceled the development of Mega Man ZX3 because I guess I don't know if you guys care about spoilers because we'll probably never get a ZX3, but at the end, like it was such a crazy cliffhanger because at the end the good guy you were working for was actually the main bad guy the whole time. And you don't fight him or anything. It's just a little cutscene where you hear voices talking and it sees like these console, and then the guy who you were working for pops up, and he's the guy orchestrating everything, and you're like, oh snap! Like he's pulling the strings for everything, almost like an Emperor Palpatine type of way, which was kind of cool. And then of course we're not gonna get a closure on that. But yeah, that was supposed to lead to Mega Man Legends again, another cliffhanger. Mega Man Legends 2, another cliffhanger. Mega Man got stuck on the moon, and we don't know what's gonna happen.
3
next.
got canceled.
Yep. So oh man, Capcom, you guys suck, man. Like seriously.
And the thing that's such a tragedy too is that like Mega Man X is a game that's meant to be like Mega Man X10 is a game that's made to be made because like X is the Roman numeral for 10. Like it's sitting right there. Just call it the last one Mega Man X and just have it.
It's just called Mega Man X Final Chapter. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Prologue.
Boom.
There we go. No.
Yeah.
Oh man,
3.8.
We need Mega Man back. There's a lot of people don't realize Mega Man has a deep story. There's I believe there's a YouTube channel called I think it's the Leaderboards or something like that. They do a lot of like timeline stuff. If you want to look at the whole Mega Man timeline, they're a great like channel to go to because they have the whole Mega Man timeline in like 20 minutes because it's pretty in depth, and they'll tell you everything there. And Mega Man's timeline is kind of like done. We know what happens in Mega Man, and there's a lot of references in like ZX4, for example. There's cutscenes that reference like Dr. Wily building Zero, so we know that Zero was built by Dr. Wily. We know that Mega Man X was created by Dr. Light because we see like flashback cutscenes from there, and so forth. Like Dr. Kane, we know is the one that found Mega Man. All of that's referenced. So like X was really when they went in very hardcore like story base, which was cool. They started explaining like Zero and the Zero virus and what that is, and like Zero was holding a virus all along because Dr. Wily implemented it into Zero, to kind of win and beat all the robot masters because he hated Dr. Light and so forth. So pretty in depth. Yeah. But that's everything that we have for today. Appreciate everybody for joining us for our little Mega Man rant at the end. But as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so close. Need 82. Well, let me actually refresh that because sometimes we get subscribers and it doesn't pop up. Yeah, 82 more subscribers to hit 1,000. So close, so close. We have 20. What is it like? Or no, I'm sorry. We have like 18 days to go. So please, everybody, share the channel. Helps out a lot. Trying to hit that goal would be awesome if we could hit that subscriber goal before my birthday or during my birthday, whichever it might be. I do have something planned to do around my birthday. I'm probably gonna do like a longer than usual stream. We'll see what I'm gonna do, and do some more fun streaming. I am finishing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. After that, I probably will take a break from some story-based games. I might do like I told Brian, maybe we'll do some Mario Party, do some fun stuff before I go back into another story-based game, because well, I think it was like back-to-back story-based games that I kind of finished. I do want to play some Kingdom Hearts. I do want to finish 358 over 2, but I'm gonna have to restart that because I'm gonna do that new mod that came out that makes 358 over 2 on one screen versus using the DS like dual screen, which is pretty cool. Where they have like updated textures. The map is no longer at the bottom screen. It's full widescreen, fully supported. They have the map in the corner. All the controls are mapped like modern Kingdom Hearts games. So definitely want to do that. It looks pretty cool. 358 over 2 is another game that people should play that's stuck on the DS forever, unfortunately. Because
It's not included in any of the collections.
No, just the movies.
Just the cutscenes.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. So you know the story, but you can't play it. Gotcha.
Correct.
Exactly. Which sucks because there's some like 358 over 2 is actually a really, really fun game. Like I don't know. Square
It's a
Enix
DS game, you said?
It's a DS game, yeah. But there's a mod, which I highly recommend it, compatible with Steam Deck. They actually have instructions on the GitHub on how to do it, where you get the ROM and then you download a customized version of Melon DS, which is the DS emulator, but it's specifically for Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2. And what it does, it gets rid of the second screen entirely, and they kind of map everything and position everything to a single screen. The textures are also like updated and stuff like that, so everything's more higher resolution. And it's almost like what an HD version of that game would have been for a single screen, which is very, very awesome. It has like full like right thumbstick support, because in order to move the camera, you have to use the touchscreen. So if you play it like on a normal DS emulator, you can't move the camera really. So it's like kind of stuck in one position, or you continuously
because you
press
have to
that
like
L
use the
button.
mouse as the like. You have to use the
Yeah.
mouse as the touchscreen. No, man, that's annoying.
Exactly, but
I played like freaking Phantom Hourglass like that, and I was like, never again.
yeah, this is customized for that, so pretty awesome thing. That I highly recommend playing it that way.
Where does
Yeah.
it take place in the timeline?
358 over 2 is right before 2. So between Chains and
Okay.
Memories and then 2. So basically the timeline is Birth by Sleep, then 0.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have watched those cutscenes before I played 2.
Because there's a lot of stuff that it goes over.
Yeah,
Especially if you
I
play
know.
3.
I know, because when I played 2, I was like, I don't remember this happening. When I beat 1, I was like, what's going on? And then I started watching the cutscenes from the all-in-one package. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, now this makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, the timeline is basically Birth by Sleep is the first in chronological order. Then you have 0.2, I believe it is, or Birth by Sleep 0.2, which is like Aqua Story. That's in the 2.8 prologue. Very confusing. So that's only on there. Then you have Kingdom Hearts 1. Then you have Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and then Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2, which takes place during Chain of Memories and then after Chain of Memories. So it's like in between both. Then, of course, you got Kingdom Hearts 2. Then you got Kingdom Hearts Recoded, which is only cutscenes in the thing, which that game, in my opinion, just watch the cutscenes, the game sucked. I wasn't a fan of Recoded. Like it had pretty decent gameplay. I just thought it was boring.
What was that for?
Kingdom Hearts Recoded.
Yeah, what was it for?
What do you mean, what was it for?
Or is that the
It was a DS,
DLC
I
for
think.
3?
I think it was a DS, wasn't it?
It was a DS
I thought it
game.
was a
Yeah, it was a
DS.
DS game.
Oh, DS.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it was originally actually a mobile game. So it was on the Doku whatever phones, like the flip phones they had in Japan. It was originally released for those in like different episodes, and then they did a DS remake, which came over to the US. And it's decent. Like it plays like Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. It's not too bad. I just wasn't a fan of it. Even though I own it, I'm just not a fan. But yeah, there's Recoded. Then Dream Drop Distance, which is really good. That was for 3DS, but that's also included in the 2.8 Kingdom Hearts 2.8, and then Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't think I missed the game.
I'm very impressed you can keep that all straight.
Yeah. I was a diehard Kingdom Hearts fan when I was, especially in high school. Like I was on KH Insider, which is a website, and I was those guys writing theories because I diagnosed like honestly at that time I probably could have been a Kingdom Hearts YouTuber because I was so into Kingdom Hearts that I would have these theories of everything. And when a trailer came out, I was putting like what this is, what this represents, and so forth. And I was always
You
there.
could have been the Geekdom
forums.
101 for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I could have been what HMK is to Kingdom Hearts, doing that stuff. But it was some a lot of cool stuff. Super diehard fan of Kingdom Hearts. I got to get back into the lore though, because it's been so long since I played them that I really want to get back into all of it. And Steam Deck's a perfect place to go. So, but yeah, like and subscribe to the channel. Follow on Twitch. We do simultaneously stream on both YouTube and Twitch, so definitely follow. If you got Amazon Prime, use that free subscription. It does help out the channel a lot as well. Fan, where can I catch you at?
Yeah, you guys can catch me at Phaneckswhy at Twitch, Twitter/X, and YouTube.
Are you Bryant?
red_so_deep on Twitter.
Nice. And as always, you can catch me here. We will be back on Thursday with some more Stranger in Paradise. We are at floor 11 of 100, so we'll see if we continue it. We might take a break, or we might just drop it altogether. Like, it's up to like Fan and Ash what they want to do, because at this point we'll probably be playing the game probably for the rest of the year, because at the rate we're going.
There's a lot.
doesn't
Yeah,
end.
the way we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might.
You
mix
got
it
your
up
money's
once in a
worth
while.
though.
Oh yeah,
That
for
is
sure.
true.
That is true.
I am getting my money's worth. Does Bryant know about Ash? His new job?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ash will be coming back. I think next week. He said next week, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So I believe so. So the return of Ash will be next week. We might just title that "The Return of Ash" with no context. So
Not
Have a
the
picture of
Pokemon
Ash
trainer.
Ketchum as the thumbnail.
yeah, exactly. we'll do that.
A picture of like old man
Love
Ash.
it.
Like he's
Oh
all
yeah. But yeah, Ash will be back with us. I believe starting next week. Hopefully, we're not lying for you, or it might have been a week after, something like that. But he is coming back very, very soon. Yeah, and I'll be back Friday, finishing finally Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I almost
Can't
said
wait to
Kingdom
watch
Hearts
that.
Rebirth. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I probably will more than likely finish the game during the stream and probably spend an hour of just talking about the ending and my thoughts on it.
Oh, I'll be right there with bells
Yeah.
on, my friend.
Yeah, and seeing that, and then after I do some fun, I'm thinking of going back into Final Fantasy 16 and finally finishing it. Maybe
Good man.
we'll see if I decide to. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Bryant. Thank you, Fan. We'll catch you guys next time.